What's good? What's good? This your boy Aristotle R with the Rari Full Throttle, and we back with another episode of Stock Sundays. And today we're going to be talking about a few stocks that I see, how the market is at an all-time high, and everything you need to know about this week. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste you guys' time. So next week we have Consumer Price Index (CPI), and that is pretty much talking about the inflation numbers. Then we have Producer Price Index Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, big data coming out. Lots of data coming out next week. Unemployment, export and imports, retail sales, lots of data. Then we're going to talk about, so you guys know that's coming, and then we're going to talk about where do we see the market. For one, big news, Bitcoin broke out of this consolidation period, didn't reject. 118K was like the high at one point, went down to nearly, I remember it went from here and it went to 98K. So here was about 74K-ish, and the height was 108. Okay. So boom, finally broke past 112K, and now it's at 118, and the high was about 119.4. So Bitcoin, I'm up a few. I'm probably up half a M off Bitcoin. Should have been up more, but it is what it is. Gains are gains, right? So Bitcoin is up now 100,000 to, I would say, all of this is the new dip buy to retest. All of this is the new dip buy now. This whole little area right here is where you buy the dip. So Bitcoin, we have SPY, the S&P 500, which I'll talk about too, because a lot of times when people compare Bitcoin, they compare Bitcoin to SPY. And I don't think that is a fair comparison, because nobody really is holding SPY long term and banking on SPY to make them rich long term. Everybody knows that's a slow stock. That's not really a growth stock. Bitcoin is a growth cryptocurrency. So, our growth stocks would be, I'm personally investing into Bitcoin, but even I posted on Twitter that if you're going to compare it to a stock, you got to compare it to stocks like Nvidia, Meta, PLTR, my fault. Stuff like this. Because look what happened within, you see what I'm saying? PLTR went from $20, August 2024, literally a year ago, from $20 to now 142. So that is a huge percent return within a year. And then you have Hood, same thing. So that's what I'll be telling them. If you're going to compare it to a particular stock, even August 2024, $14 to now $98, nearly $100. So this is our version in the stock market of the Bitcoins and stuff, even HIMs. And I call all of these, every last one of them. So I will say this though, the unique thing about Bitcoin is you can put as much money as you want in it with the trust. It's a very trusting asset that it will return you an investment. As far as the S&P 500 stocks and stuff like that, we're taught to kind of diversify and not put our eggs in one basket. So the people who are smart enough to pour all of their money into Hood, pour all their money into Netflix, and then you have Netflix as well, pour all of their money into PLTR and Nvidia, those people are the smart investors when it comes to growth stocks. So that's one thing I will say is the advantage Bitcoin has. But one thing I want to tell people is you have to compare it to our growth stocks if you're going to be realistic, instead of saying Bitcoin grew 100% and the S&P 500 only moved 14%. That's not a fair comparison, because you have Robinhood, Nvidia, PLTR. You get what I'm saying? So let's get to the topic of the stocks that I want to watch. But before we do, last week wasn't, the best week in the world, because we're still at all-time highs, but everybody getting gains, as you can see, 2,400 in a week. Then you have the hood leaps that I call. You see what I'm saying? People up 90%. So there's money to be made. A person made 2,600 in a day. Money to be made, 27K in the past month. Look at hood. Then we're going to talk about one of those stocks that he has. Look at these stocks he's in, though. That's pretty dope. But yeah, he snapped. Homie snapped. And we have 1,400. And then he made 1,000 in a week. Count up 20%. So he has a 5K account. 33K. So make sure y'all tap in. Link in the description. honeydripnetwork.com is where you can buy with us, and we have a beginner's course. If you're new, all you have to do is come to the read first, watch this to learn how to navigate the chat, and then also follow the 6 steps. So follow the 6 steps, how to navigate chat, watch that, and you're golden. All right, and then you can come here to the free courses. After you go to the read first, go to the free courses, and participate in everything that you see right here. Everything that you see. All right, and that's really it. Read first, and then free courses, and you're golden. That's for anybody who doesn't know anything about stocks and want to come in and learn. Now let's get into my top plays. For one, I'm researching Webull leaps. They're at $12. IPO went up to $79. I personally think, even long term, I may get some Webull. It's a platform just like Robinhood. It's a profitable platform. I think they have like if I'm not mistaken, 100% profit margin. Crazy profit margin. I wonder if they had to come down from there. Or it was a high profit margin. If we go to Yahoo Finance. So Bull leaps. Let's go to their financials. Well, goddamn. They're bringing in a lot. Oh, that's point. Okay, I was about to say. So the year-over-year growth, that's good. And the net profit, trailing 12 months, they're up. Yeah, a lot. So it wasn't that. It's just their trailing 12 months compared to last year, just insane. Negative 1 million, negative 300 million, negative 500 million to now positive 573 million. That's a huge jump. Not only did they cross the zero line, so that's what they did. They 200% their yearly gains, but they're at lows. So that's something that was, for one, I've never seen anybody do something like that. I mean, I've seen it, but not to that extent. Negative 500 million to positive 500 million in next year. Maybe because they made a lot of investments, but that is just insane. So Bull leaps is something I have my eye on. And then we have ASTS. Has this sort of bull flag pattern. So I'll be watching them for a breakout. They are some type of rocket company, space mobile, telecommunications type of company. Can we get some details? All right, here we go. It's you guys probably can't read it, but if I move this over, then you guys can read it right here. All right. Engages in building in broadband cellular network in space to operate directly with standard unmodified mobile devices based on extensive IP and patent portfolio. It focuses on providing mobile broadband service with global coverage to all end users without the need to purchase special equipment. All right, so not sure what that means. You know how you remember when you were in school and you were just reading stuff and you were reading the paragraph, you know what the hell you was reading, or you was taking a test. I don't know what it was called back in y'all day, but it was called the CRCT in Georgia. You know, the ACT, SAT, stuff like that. That's pretty much how that felt by reading that paragraph. But anyways, I see a bull flag here, possibly attracted to the breakout of this particular bull flag. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's look at a bull flag example. And that's pretty much what we see, folks. Flagpole, flag channel, breakout is what we're looking for. A break above this particular white line. A 4 hour, you can kind of see it a little better. All right, so that's what we're looking for. And then we have DECK. DECK, DECK. And I'm pretty much looking forward to kind of break out of this triangle. It's an ugly triangle, by the way. But they have earnings July 24th. I would say CCL is another one. Kind of a bull flag. A retest, break and retest of this all-time high. Breaks above this particular resistance line, then I'll find it attractive. So I'm watching Carnival Cruise Line for that. Breaking and retesting all-time, well, not all-time highs, I don't believe. I don't think that's all-time highs. Is it? Nope. But it also has this high. So that's kind of, let's kind of see how far it will go. So yeah, it has some room to kind of break out and gain some momentum to the highs right there. So yeah, Carnival Cruise Line would be number 3. And then, yeah, that's it. That's all we have, folks. So you guys know what it is. Your boy Starter Art with the Raw. My personal advice is SPY needs a pullback. It's already at all-time highs. Bitcoin is at all-time highs. Go figure, they both kind of broke out the same, both at all-time highs. So my personal opinion is, especially with the high beta stocks like Tesla, Apple, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, things like that, NVIDIA, all of these, Google. Like Google looks attractive for a day trade above 183, you know, but at the same time, just stay on your toes and day trade. Amazon as well looks attractive for calls above highs of 227. But other than that, folks, I personally recommend day trading within the parameters of the high beta stocks and looking for stocks outside of your normal sectors, because you know it doesn't look too pretty while we're at all-time highs, just being honest. So stay on your toes. This is Aristotle, and I'm out.